Hello children, do you know whenever there is light, someone follows us? Have you ever wondered what it is? It is our shadow. So today we are starting with Unit 3 and I am going to tell you the poem. We are going to recite a poem together. The name of the poem is My Shadow. You must have noticed we always have our shadow following us when we have a source of light in day or even at night. Okay. The poet of the poem is Robert Louis Stevenson. It is a very interesting poem and we are going to do it together. So you will have to open your Marigold. Alright.
So before you read it from your book from Marigold children, let's read from here. The poem has 3 stanzas and I'm going to read and explain each one to you one by one. Let's read the first stanza. I have a little shadow that goes in and out with me, and what can be the use of him is more than I can see. He is very, very like me, from the heels up to the head, and I see him jump before me when I jump into my bed. So here the poet is talking on behalf of a child, okay? And the child says that I have a shadow that is every time going with me, okay? That is everywhere with me. And the child fails to understand, he's confused that what is the use of a shadow. He also he notices that the shadow is exactly like him from head to the toe, and he also sees the shadow jump before him into the bed. Okay, before he is into the bed, the shadow jumps into the bed. So that was the first stanza. Let's go to the second stanza of the poem. The funniest thing about him is the way he likes to grow, not at all like proper children, which is always very slow. For he sometimes shoots up taller like an India rubber ball, and he sometimes gets so little that there's none of him at all. This second stanza is very interesting. Here, the poet, in the form of child, talks about the funniest thing about a shadow. Now, what is the funniest thing about the shadow is the way the shadow grows. It is very different from how you grow, children. You grow little by little in your height. With every year, you grow with your age and in your height. But that's not the case with the shadow. Sometimes it grows very, very tall, like an India rubber ball. You know, the India rubber ball can bounce to any height. And sometimes you see none of him at all. You see no shadow at all, means it is invisible. Okay, so that is the funniest thing about the shadow, which the child is talking about. Let's go to the third stanza. One morning, very early, before the sun I was up, I rose and found the shining dew on every buttercup. Buttercup is a flower. But my lazy little shadow, like an errant sleepy head, had stayed at home behind me and was fast asleep in bed. So here the poet is talking about a day when before the sun rose, the child was up. The child woke up before sun was up in the sky. Okay. So he comes out and he sees there was dew on every buttercup. It's a flower, so he could see dew on the flowers, but he could not find his shadow anywhere. So he assumes, he thinks that his shadow is, sleeping in the bed. He's not anywhere means he is sleeping in the bed. We are also going to read the word meaning so you will know what errant and sleepyhead means. Sleepyhead is lazy, errant is bad. So he thinks that the shadow is like a bad lazy person who is still sleeping in the bed. He doesn't know the reason why the shadow is not with him right now. Okay. So here are the new words, children. The first one is India rubber ball, a ball that can bounce very high. Second, buttercup, a yellow flower. Third, errant, bad. Sleepyhead is not given, but sleepyhead, as I told you, is a sleepy person, lazy and inattentive. Someone who is feeling sleepy and is not attentive, not focused. Okay. Now let's go to the exercises and do them one by one. Here we have the first exercise. Let's read. These are question answers. So question 1, who do you think your shadow looks like? I think this is the easiest question, children. I think my shadow looks exactly like me. And you can add, I am repeating, I think my shadow looks exactly like me from head to the heels. Okay. Question number 2. Why do you think your shadow jumps into bed before you can? Now, before we answer this question, you need to understand the science behind it. So, our shadow does not really jump before our bed. It appears to jump before us because the source of light is behind us. So the shadow is actually with us all the time. But why do you think your shadow jumps into bed before you can? The answer will be, I think my shadow jumps into bed before I can is because the source of light is behind me. So you will replace all the U's. Wherever U is written, you will replace it with the word I. Okay. Question number 3. What time of the day do you think it is when your shadow is the tallest and why? Here you have been given 3 options: morning, afternoon, night. So, what time of the day do you think your shadow is the tallest, children? Can you think? The answer, otherwise I am telling you the answer. It is morning time. Now, why is it morning time our shadow is the tallest? Because the sun is at the horizon and it forms such an angle that our shadow is the tallest or the longest during that time. Let's come to question number 4. Read the lines from the poem and answer the following. Now these 2 lines below in blue color are taken from the stanza 1. Let me read them for you. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head. I'm reading again. He is very, very like me from the heels up to the head. So question number 1, who does he refer to? The answer will be, he refers to the shadow. Okay, you have understood the poem, so you know he refers to the shadow. Second, who does me refer to? Me refers to the child in the poem. The poet talks on behalf of the child. So, me refers to the child in the poem. Third, why are he and me alike? Now, we have just stated he is the shadow and me is the child. So, why they are alike? Alike means similar. Okay, why they are same? They are same because or they are alike because he is the shadow of me. That is the answer. Let's go on to this next exercise. Let's talk. So work in pairs and discuss the following. You can do it on your own, children. Here, what would you do if a dog chases you? What would you do if a dog chases you? Will you run? Will you stop and try to pat the dog or what? Okay. And next is, what would you do if you have forgotten your homework copy at home? Think and answer this, children. And last is, what would you do if you are alone in a room and lights go out? Will you be scared or what? Try and think and write. Let's go to the next exercise, which is fun time. It is really interesting. Shine a torch behind your hand and see its shadow on the wall. Okay, take a torch, put it behind your hand and see its shadow on the wall. Now second, move the torch a little away from your hand and see the shadow on the wall now. So do you find a difference in the size of the hand on the wall? Observe and enjoy, okay? Next is working together. So here you have to work in groups of 5, but you can do it on your own. So first you make a large hand on a plain sheet. You can see a pink box where words are written: 4, middle, ring, small, thumb. Now 4 is your index finger, the first finger. Middle is the next finger. Ring is the finger where you put ring on. Small is the next finger. And thumb is, you know what is a thumb. Okay, so you have to make a hand on a plain sheet. Then mark the names of the fingers, thumb and palm on the hand. Use the hints given in the box. Now second, do the actions as given below and observe which part or fingers of your hand is being used. That is, these actions are given in this yellow box and you have to observe which action is done using which part of the hand. So you can read these actions and do these and observe which part is used in which action. Now the next exercise is let's write. Fill in the blanks using one of the words given in brackets. So they have introduced words like who, whose, which, whom, that. I'll do some with you, others you fill in. So I'll do the first one. Where is the child? Dash parents have come to school. So where is the child whose parents have come to school? Second, I saw many houses which were quite spacious. Okay, others you can do yourself, but here is the last one. The old lady dash I met in your house is my neighbor. So the old lady whom I met in your house is my neighbor. Now second exercise, complete this description by answering the question below. Now you see a yellow cloud and you see picture of a dog in its kennel. So let's read what is in the cloud. What do you think is the name of the dog? Why is she called that? What color is she? Do you think she is friendly? What does she like to eat? So you think about that, and this exercise continues from page 46 to 47. Now write a few lines on Mittu and his little dog named Shadow. You can take ideas from that yellow cloud and you can write the pictures. You can write few lines here in the book itself. Now here we come to say aloud. I am going to speak these words for you. You also speak them afterwards. Shoe, ship, shell. Shadow, sheep, shade. Fish, dish, wish. Bush, wash, brush. Right? And here we come to the end with this beautiful poem. Read it, it's pretty good and nicely written. Okay, and rhyme it together when you are reading it. Do it nicely. So that is all. I hope you enjoyed the poem. Have a great day.